Yeah, there are a lot of you all asking me one common question, that is, you feel you are good, but you want to be the better version of yourself. So I have already done a video on that, on 8 days to discover yourself. It is there in the playlist. I will put the link below. You can follow it, and a lot of them have been writing positive things regarding it to me. A few of them have contacted me as well. So you can follow that. I would definitely suggest this to people who are trying to be the better version of themselves. You can follow it, and I'm sure you will definitely see some difference in you. Okay. Hi, hello, and welcome to 48 Frames Company. And this is an episode of Secret Letters. Yeah, I know it's been a really long time since we had this session of Secret Letters. And during this phase, when we were not having too many videos on, I got to connect with a lot of lovely people of different age groups, young kids who are in 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th grade, and also who are in college. And few of them who are working professionals who belong to my age group, and few of them much older, they just gave me a suggestion. They said they like the Secret Letter session, but they feel it is a little too long. Like we have like 2 or 3 episodes of it going, and they really don't have the time, and sometimes it can be really boring when you are busy and you miss out on the second episode and you directly go to the last episode just to see like what is the solution or the guidance that we are giving. So since this was given to us, a feedback was given to us, and they said, why don't you try it once again? Let's make it short, within 1 episode, and we finish it off, and let's see how people are reacting to it. So when you ask for it, why not? Why don't I sit down and just take a video on any one of the letters that I have? I have quite a few letters pending, but I thought I'll take a small little one just as a trial, to see how you respond to it. Having just 1 episode of this, and you get to know what exactly is it and what are the solutions that we have given them. Not solutions, in fact, a few pointers and guidelines that we have given. So this is a story of a young couple, then just married couple. Now it's been quite a few years, so a couple of years in fact. So this is a story of Violet and John. Again, name is just fictional. So Violet and John were studying away from home, and both of them were studying together, and they fell in love, and they had a beautiful relationship for 3 years. They feel like they were the best. They always felt that they were the best couple. They had everything that would match, and everything was fantastic, very dreamy and rosy and very fairy tale like. So when they had to convince their parents, it was quite difficult. They put in a lot of effort, and they convinced their parents, and they get married. You understand Indian society, right? They have, the parental expectation is at a different level altogether. So what happens is that they put in their effort, and they convince their parents, and they get married. After marriage is when small little issues. It's not an issue for people who have seen a lot in life, and if I would tell this is an issue to my parents, they would just laugh at me. But considering the younger crowd, or considering the people who came later, who got married in the recent past, it is an issue. So here what happened is that both of them finished their studies, and John went back home to take care of the business that his grandfather and father managed, and Violet was back to work. She was working in an IT firm. So when they got together, things slowly started changing. See, first 3 to 4 months was very beautiful again, because we have this custom of going to meet relatives, going to meet friends, and it's a honeymoon phase altogether, the first 3, 4, 5 months. So she really didn't understand what was happening. She was really happy, and we have this very fairy tale kind of thinking before marriage, isn't it? It was the same. That's what she says. So after completion of that, and when they started getting back to work, while Violet started getting back to work, she used to get up in the morning, finish off all the chores at home. Not much, because her mother-in-law is a lovely lady who used to take care of everything in the house. So she had to get ready, go to work, and come back. And when she used to leave the house, she used to find John sitting on the sofa watching TV, and while she comes back, he's in the same position. So she started wondering, what is wrong with this man? This man doesn't really go and help his father. He's just watching TV. And what was even more disturbing for her was the fact that he would just call his mom, just randomly call her while she's really busy with her own work in the kitchen, to switch on the fan or probably switch off the TV. So something as silly as that, he used to not even take care of that small little responsibility, that he could any which ways get up and switch off the fan or switch on the fan. So this was very disturbing for her. So while she wrote to us, what she termed it was that he has no self-respect, he has no goal, he has no aspirations, he is not the man that I really thought he was. So what is the difference now? When they stay away from home, they are bound to take responsibilities and they do things in a very nice, beautiful fashion. Here, while we try to understand what exactly went wrong, is that they both are single child. Violet is the only daughter and John is the only son. So there is a two different parenting style that has been followed here. Now in Violet's case, her parents made the child more independent, as in made the child face life a little more in a bolder way, as in take responsibilities to pay the bills and go out and buy things for their house and fetch the groceries, milk and all those things. So she used to take responsibilities right from a younger age, whereas John was overly pampered and loved and was not given, not that Violet was not loved, but here it was more of the pampering and the spoiling thing that we call, the spoiled brat that we call. But he was not a brat, he was a lovely child. As a child, he was really lovely child. He was doing everything really well, but he was overly pampered. So after this pampering, the pampering has continued till this age. So he is in a very comfort zone where he has no responsibilities to take. The father is taking care of the business, the mother is taking care of the food and the home, whatever is required at home. So he is quite laid back when it comes, But for Violet, who has grown up to be an independent, strong woman, to see her man just lying down, doing nothing, not taking responsibilities, it's kind of a mental chaos for her. She's not able to accept her man be so lazy, or she actually felt he had no self-respect. And this continued for a really long time, and she was going through this pain within herself until one day she saw that her husband was cleaning the pond in the neighborhood, and this just couldn't get into her mind easily at all. So she was just wondering, if anyone comes home and asks him to do something, he could never say a no. So let it be cleaning somebody's attic or some neighbor's pond or taking someone's dog for a walk. So he would do every silly thing, but he would never do anything for himself. So this has been, chewing her up altogether, and she decided to part ways with him. Yeah, she really thought of a divorce. And that's when they reached out to me, and then we had few conversations, and then we could identify that one of the main problems or main issues behind, not issues, the reasons behind this is because they were from two different parenting style. They were the products of two different parenting style. So here, what can we do is the question. See, the girl has, any girl for that matter, who has grown up in India specifically, has a very dreamy view about marriage. They have loads of expectation. We are very flowery and very fairy tale like. And there is also the stereotype at which we have grown that, the man has to be very masculine and he should be doing things for their house and taking care of the family, slogging. This is what is being fed into all our minds. So it's very, very difficult for few girls to accept that we do have house husbands, who really take care of the child while the woman is working outside. There is no harm in that. There is nothing wrong in that. It's an understanding between the couple. So here there is a man who is soft-hearted, who would cry easily, who would blame his parents, who would fight easily, who is very childlike. So this is also an option for a man. A man can also grow up to be like that. But she has not seen someone like that, and she was not ready to accept someone like that. So when we sat down and when we discussed and we explained, this is how it is. So definitely we can bring in few changes in John, but we cannot change the parent, because the parent also is equally old as John, in the sense they have been parents for the number of years he has been born and he's been growing up. So telling the mother not to do this and that is just going to create some more chaos. So the easiest way out was this powerful independent women just giving a hand to the man of her life, like, just giving some suggestions, giving the kind of support, making him realize few things. Such boys who have grown up with being overtly pampered can never even imagine a life without their parents. So here, why isn't he going and helping his father? While we discussed, it was true in the sense he never thought, there would be a day that his parents would get older and they might just pass away, and then he has to take the entire responsibility of him. So the first step would be, if any one of you all, it is just for this particular couple, because if it is for you, we need to understand the kind of background you come from, we need to take a case history, it's going to be different. But for this particular couple, we had to make him realize, there will be a day when you need to take this on your shoulders. So we asked Violet to guide him and gives a suggestion to him to go to work at least on alternate days, understand and help the father, to be a support for the father. Just look around, understand, learn, study, get to know how the business works, so that in future we can make it better. So this is exactly how she had to do, and she started telling him, and slowly he started going to work. So one thing is okay, it's solved. You should always discuss with the in-laws. Sometimes they might refute very badly. They might say, as long as I'm alive, I can come and make tea for him, I can switch on the fan, I can probably polish his shoes. There are parents of different kinds. But if you are lucky and if they do understand and you get their support, it's going to be half the way easier. So here again, that was tried and that took its own pace. It happened in its own way, and he slowly, gradually started understanding few things. Now coming to the fact where he had to say no. So the main reason is that when a girl comes into a family, in most of the Indian households, it's the girl who comes into the boy's house. So in this case also, it was a similar thing. The girl has absolutely no idea about what is the man's relationship with the neighbor. That might be a fatherly figure, a friend, someone very close to his heart. So cleaning their pond or taking a dog for a walk might not be something that's hurtful for him, but definitely it's going to hurt the girl, because she's come here with a lot of expectations and hope and dream and all that. So in general, if it is too much, like people are making use of him and you can really understand that, he's being carried away by someone promising him something, or, people sometimes make use of innocent souls like this. So what we need to tell him, it's not easy to say a no, outrightly for them, So we need to help them come up with few steps to be followed, like you give them ideas as in what they can do instead of just outrightly saying a no, which is extremely difficult for them. So one thing is to buy time. So you tell them, yeah, I can do that, but just give me before I confirm, give me some time before I confirm, or let me get back home and let you know about it. So you get time to frame or come up with something instead of saying a no outrightly. Second thing is, do not give too many reasons. Saying a no and giving too many reasons would just bring in guilt onto you and make that person also feel that you are doing something and the relationship will be at stake. So what you need to do is, you need to come up with something alternate. Like if they're asking you to do something, just say that. If they ask you to go to this particular shop, you can always say, yeah, that same thing is available here. Can I go here because I need to get back home at this time? So it is crisp and it's clear. So when you say that, if they do not like it, they obviously would say, no, don't take the trouble. Isn't it? So third one is, never feel guilty. If you are really going to feel guilty while you're practicing this, then it is very difficult for you to start saying a no. These are the steps towards, it's towards saying no. How you can start saying no is through these few steps that I'm mentioning. So you should not feel guilty for it, because you're actually giving them an alternate and you're not telling a no outrightly. Okay? So the last and final one would be to actually say that, I would love to do this, I was actually looking for this, but unfortunately this is what has happened. If you want, I can do it for you. So you are not saying no, you are actually saying, I really want to, but there is something that's come up, but still if you want, I'm ready to do this for you. So this is the way you can tell. These are the few ways you can progress towards saying a blatant no someday. So it takes a lot of courage. I agree, totally agree that it's very difficult for people to say a no. So these were the few tips and tricks that we had told. Yeah, today they are very happy, not because they are following these tips and tricks, because we had a lot of other sessions as well. But what we wanted you guys to understand is the impact of parenting, it can have in your partner. So if you're the only child, or if you are brought up in two different parenting styles, there would be a lot of things different. So young girls, if you're thinking of marriage, life is not as beautiful as your dating phase, and you can find a lot of changes. It can be due to these kind of reasons, because they come from a different background, different parenting style. So if you are the stronger one, see, most of the times this is how they get attracted. One is silent and one is very talkative, they get attracted. So that's a common thing. So if you are the strong woman in the relationship, you should be the shoulder, the hand to lead the person. Come up with ideas where you can slowly, subliminally, influence the person and bring him out of the cocoon, and things will change for sure. But emotions would be the same. You cannot stop a man from crying. No, you don't have to do that. But yes, if he's too much into helping others, and people are taking due advantage of it, yes, you have the right to teach him, guide him, take him through the process of coming out of it. So now they're very happy, and this is a beautiful, beautiful couple today. So if you are having something similar to this which is disturbing your relationship, and you really want to know what exactly is going wrong, you can always write to us. There's an email ID below. You can definitely write to us. If you have liked this session, please do not forget to hit a like, and if you have not yet subscribed to the channel yet, please do subscribe, and if you think someone will benefit out of it, please do share this video. So I hope to see you all soon with couple more interesting letters, because we have come up with something very simple today, because we wanted to keep it short and understand how much you're going to like this. So we'll come back soon with yet another letter. Till then, have a wonderful time.